And in case you hadn't noticed, a lot of American soldiers lately have been posting photographs. They've been uploading videos to YouTube. Videos just like this one. This was posted to YouTube. This was December of 2010. And when you watch it with me, this is incredibly compelling because you're looking at these U.S. troops. They're fighting off an ambush. This guy has this camera presumably on his helmet here. And the next one we're going to show you, this was posted last May. It was shot by a member of the 10th Mountain Division. Take a look.
Come on, boys, I need you! Get down.
Again, these are members of the 10th Mountain Division fighting insurgents in Afghanistan. This video also posted to YouTube. And all of this made us wonder whether there's any kind of Pentagon policy covering U.S. troops in the pictures, videos they shoot in combat. Videos just like this one. Can anyone post anything on YouTube? Could it potentially be harmful to American interests? Let's ask all these questions and more to General Mark Kimmitt, U.S. Army retired general here. General, there are a lot of U.S. troops I know in Afghanistan, and they're going into combat. They have these, these cameras on their helmets that they've apparently purchased themselves. Question is it problematic? And is there any kind of policy at the Pentagon, saying you can or you can't put this footage up on YouTube into the public domain?
Well, I think it's problematic from a number of points of view. Obviously, the troops ought to be focusing on the mission and not trying to get some glory shots of what's happening in actual combat. Actual combat is tough enough without worrying if you've got the right camera angle when you're fighting. As to policy, I think it's fairly clear that anything that interferes with the mission, or in the case of these troops that photographed dead soldiers, that's prejudicial to good order and conduct. That said, we've got to understand that these cameras, videos are omnipresent on the battlefield these days, and I don't think that we want to restrict the First Amendment rights of our soldiers, their ability to embrace freedom of speech if it's not interfering with the mission. But if it does, we should.
So going back to the point where, let's say, a soldier who isn't, worried about which way his camera is focused on his helmet, but simply just wants the video, you're saying your opinion is that there's no problem with that and there shouldn't be any policy violating that soldier's First Amendment rights. Just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly.
Well, there certainly are some cases. If this is a classified mission, obviously we don't want to photograph that. If this would give away tactics, techniques, and procedures that would give the enemy an advantage in the next combat operation, we don't want to post that. But we don't take away constitutional rights of those that are out defending our constitutional rights.
General, we'll continue this conversation. I just want to show another video. You're going to see this video. This is from the 173rd Airborne. This is in northern Afghanistan. This video was posted to YouTube just last May. As we watch this, General, and we'll keep watching it, I mean, this is really the first war, it seems, that we've seen such an array of these video cameras, filming. I mean, we're not just talking still photos, we're talking film, obviously, like this case. If nothing else, just for the sake of history, General Kimmitt, this is quite the opportunity for historians, right? I mean, historians who are watching and detailing every move of these soldiers.
Well, it's not just helpful to historians, it's helpful to the American people. I think it's important for the American people to understand the sacrifices, the dangers, the peril that our soldiers are in. This is an opportunity for those that sent those soldiers over to combat to understand what that really entails. And these are a great opportunity to see just that.
What do you, in talking to perhaps some soldiers, what do you think the goal is, the purpose for these individual men and women to photograph, to chronicle these missions? Why are they doing this?
Well, I think this is something that this generation has become very used to, chronicling every aspect of their life, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube. This is something that's just part of this generation's daily life. There are some noble reasons, including war, and there are 90,000 American troops over in Afghanistan that are fighting war. And those units with good command structures can find the right balance between allowing their soldiers to take pictures and video of their daily activities, but also making sure that that is not at either risk to the mission violates rule of wars or is prejudicial to good order and discipline inside those units.
Well, that gets me back to the reason we started talking in the first place, these American troops posing with these bodies of would-be suicide bombers whose bombs detonated prematurely. As we've been reporting, this has prompted the Secretary of Defense, Leon Panetta, to issue yet another apology. You know, we've had, what, four consecutive months of instances. This is certainly not the first incident. And I have to wonder, is the Pentagon becoming overly concerned about possible discipline problems within the ranks of our fighting forces? I mean, you know, you see this one incident, and it makes you wonder if it's really the only one.
Well, I don't think the Pentagon is worried about discipline of the force. Again, 90,000 soldiers. We're talking about one or two that are violating the rules here. I think why the Secretary of Defense felt compelled to talk about this was because pictures like this don't just have a tactical impact, they have a strategic impact in terms of how our enemies see it, how our allies see it, how our coalition forces see us.
But then, General, what would you say to this soldier who remained anonymous, who passed these some 18 photographs to the LA Times and said, the reason why I'm passing these along to you anonymously is because of this, you know, there is a lack of discipline within our particular group, and I'm concerned.
Well, quite frankly, the best way to take care of a lack of discipline inside the military units is to use the very chain of command that promotes that discipline, that enforces that discipline. There are internal ways to do this. You don't necessarily have to report everything to the press because you don't think that the internal systems aren't working.